Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Bishop Museum's Library and Archives for Throwback Thursday. I'm Hadley Andersen.
I'm DeSoto Brown, Bishop Museum historian.
So what are we going to talk about today, DeSoto?
Well, I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to show you pictures.
Okay.
It's you're not going to have a problem with this.
Okay.
But I am particularly interested in publicity pictures that were taken for advertising to publicize the Hawaiian Islands for some kind of reason like that. And usually publicity pictures were set up very carefully to get across some particular advertising message or something. So today we're going to be looking at pictures of automobiles in famous places in the Hawaiian Islands for publicity purposes, and you're going to tell me where those are.
Okay.
All right.
I
Okay.
accept the challenge.
Okay, so here's your first one. I got to show it to them.
Okay.
Okay, here's the picture. Here is the photograph. Picture taken in 1934. And this is at Punch Bowl.
Oh my goodness.
We're looking down on the city of Honolulu. So these two new automobiles are in the foreground. All these cactuses are here, which you probably don't see as much of today. And down here is Honolulu Harbor. This is downtown Honolulu in 1934, and doesn't look the same today, does it?
Well, I was going to guess Tantalus, but I figured I was at the wrong angle.
Yeah. But, but it is Punch Bowl, and this is before Punch Bowl Crater had been turned into the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. So it was still a lot more informal, and the lookout was just an unpaved road that you drove up to look over the massive, bustling city of Honolulu.
Wow.
Okay, this is 1947.
I'm going to guess that's along North Shore someplace?
No, you're wrong.
No.
This is a view from the slopes of Hualalai volcano on the Big Island, looking towards Kohala. And the road is still up there today, but this view is much more obscured these days by fog, because ever since the Kilauea eruption started in 1983, fog has really been a situation on that side of the island of Hawaii, and so you don't see this view as clearly today. It hasn't been developed very much. I mean, there is more development there, but it certainly isn't like Oahu. So it does look a lot like this, but you can't see it as nicely. All right, now this is easy.
Oh, that's Diamond Head. That's looking from...
Okay, well, it is Diamond Head. Okay, this is a brand new 1958 Ford station wagon, and it's parked at Ala Moana Park, just so that you can see that Diamond Head is in the background. And this was published as a postcard that was sent out by a car dealership to people in Honolulu saying, come on in and buy your new 1958 Ford station wagon right away because prices are low, low, low. Obviously, you are not allowed to drive out onto the grounds of Ala Moana Park without permission. You will get a ticket if you do that, and it's quite an expensive ticket. But if you are a publicity photographer, you can do anything. All right.
But you pay for the permits.
You pay for the permit.
Oh, no.
Don't know?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
No.
Okay, this is on Maui. This is Iao Needle, and Iao Valley is in the West Maui Mountains, and it is behind the capital city of Wailuku. So you drive up from Wailuku into the back of the valley, and you see the so-called Iao Needle, which is a remnant of a eroded volcanic range, you know, like a mountain range or a cliff or something like that. And of course we have this nice automobile at the bottom. This car actually is kind of old in this photograph. This is a picture taken in the 40s, but that's a 1930s car. Now that is from an advertisement.
That has to be on this island. I'm
It
going to
is.
guess that is heading up towards Hawaii Kai.
Well, kind of. It's
Around that area.
it's the Punch Bowl. I mean, it's
Okay.
Punch Bowl. It's not Punch Bowl. It is the Blowhole coastline.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and this is an ad for a Schumann Carriage Company from 1959 advertising that they had Cadillacs, Buicks, and Opels. Opels are German cars, and in the late 1950s there was a sudden craze for small imported cars in the United States. So established dealers started to bring in small cars, and so since Buicks and Cadillacs were really big in size, Opels were small, so that meant Schumann Carriage was trying to cover all segments of the market. And this road that these cars are on was not built until 1933 or 34. So before that time, if you wanted to go out to the Blowhole, it was a much different trip, and you couldn't drive around the part where Hanauma Bay is because there was no road yet.
Oh my goodness.
JT Trice wants to know, when were the first vehicles beginning to be transported to Hawaii?
Okay, well, we just had a question as to when did first cars come here. They arrived in 1899. two automobiles arrived on the same ship in 1899 in the city of Honolulu, and we've never looked back since then, have we?
No,
we have not. Okay, where's that?
I want to say it's on Big Island.
It is, you're correct.
Okay, so because it looks like a volcano.
It is. Okay, this is a Hawaii Visitors Bureau publicity picture advertising the city of Hilo. So the big bustling city of Hilo is right over here on the coastline, and in the foreground we have a nice 1960 Chevrolet convertible. Happy Hula Maiden is pointing over to see there's Hilo over there, and notice that the happy people in the car have on woven coconut frond hats, which was a very big deal in the 1950s. And I think this picture was taken not too long before the really devastating tsunami of May 23rd, 1960, which caused a tremendous amount of damage in the city of Hilo. Okay, now this is easy.
Oh, that's Hanauma Bay.
Ta-da!
That one. Really
All right. Yeah, she was right. This is Hanauma Bay. That is a new 1956 Ford in the foreground, and this is a publicity series of pictures that were taken by one particular commercial photographer who was hired by the Ford Motor Company to take pictures of Fords and Mercurys in a lot of different scenic places in the 1950s. And this one, you're not going to get this one.
No way. There's no landmarks that I can tell from that.
Okay. Well, the building in the background is a famous building, and that's the Volcano House Hotel. The Volcano House has been in existence near the Halemaumau crater of Kilauea volcano ever since the middle 1800s, and initially it was just a shack, and gradually it grew to be an actual full-service hotel. It is still there today, although this building is not there. This building has been demolished and has been replaced by the current Volcano House. Actually, there was another one in between that burned down, and then the current one was built. And when cars began to get put into use for transporting tourists, it was a big deal because it meant that people could see a lot more than they had before. So getting up to the volcano, for example, was a good deal easier in an automobile than it had been trying to go by horseback or in a carriage. So once there were cars, people were all over the place looking at all kinds of scenic things.
I'm sure.
And finally, this is 1959.
That's not the Poly Lookout, is it?
It is the Poly Lookout. Okay. This is particularly laughable to me because this happy damsel is standing there dressed really pretty revealingly for what is a cold and windy place. Even on the best of days, it's kind of chilly up there at the Poly Lookout. Now, at the time this picture was taken, the Poly tunnels were not fully in use yet. So the old Poly Road was still there, and you had to drive past and through the lookout to continue on down to the other side of the island. And that is a DKW car, which nobody's ever heard of. It was made by Audi. So today we think of as Audi's German cars as being very expensive, high-end cars. This was a low-priced car, kind of a funny-looking little thing. And there were a whole bunch of imported cars at that time which are completely forgotten today. And that brings us to the end of our automobile tour.
Well, I got one more question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite car, DeSoto?
My favorite car, well, that's an easy one. My favorite car is the 1957 DeSoto Fireflight. That was the top of the line of the DeSoto line, made by the Chrysler Corporation. Big fins, really beautiful car. But those days are gone. Anyway, so that's our Throwback Thursday for today. And we'll be seeing you again next week on Thursday.
And please visit our website. Should you have any questions about what's happening over here at the Bishop Museum, that's www.bishopmuseum.org.
Because we're always doing all kinds of different stuff, and there's lots of stuff to come and see and do, and we invite you to come down here and see us. So until next Throwback Thursday, goodbye.
Aloha.